InfoHub. In our headlines, Public Security Minister confirms 6 escapees being tracked down. Over 450 prisoners transferred to other prisons. Emergency works at Lusignan prison being done. Center for Local Business Development opens, and more assistance for youths on the way. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying with us. Minister Kemraj Ramjatan today disclosed that 2 of the suspected escapees have been accounted for, and there are now 6 escapees on the run. Paul McAdam tells us more.
6 escapees are now being sought by the joint services. They are Bartica massacre convict and mastermind Mark Royden Durant, Yuri Varswick, also known as Malcolm Gordon, Stay Free Alexander, Desmond James, Cornelius Thomas, and Kobina Stevens. This was verified by Minister of Public Security, Kemraj Ramjatan, who said that 2 more prisoners were accounted for.
When the calculation was being done and the numbers and the names were being called, we were not having the cooperation from the prisoners. And indeed, the verification process being more and more properly done as a result of the cooperation we are having now, and the fact also that we are removing prisoners from the Lusignan area to other prisons have helped in that regard, because the population in the walled area, let's use that term, is getting less.
The minister corrected false media reports which stated that 300 prisoners were released.
Not that 300 have been released. 83 persons have been removed to the Mazaruni prison. 90 have been removed to the New Amsterdam prison. 48 have been removed to Timeri prison. The early release that I granted total 57. The magistrate's release, 26 were placed on self-bail, and as a result, I think, of reduction of bails and the monies being found, an additional 8 found bail monies for their release, totaling 34. And that the amount that more or less have been the figure that I would want to give as having been removed from that area at Lusignan.
He added that 151 other prisoners have been transferred from the open area to the confines of the Lusignan prison building. 463 prisoners have been transferred from the open area at the facility, which was used as the initial holding area. Just over 500 prisoners remain in that open section. Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
Gabriela Patram now tells us that emergency works are currently happening at the Lusignan prison to have over 500 prisoners in better condition.
Prisoners that are currently in the open area of the Lusignan prison will soon get better facilities. Minister of Public Security Kemraj Ramjatan said that despite being prisoners, rights and international standards must be adhered to.
We are making accommodation for them in another walled area that we have now tarmacked, and we are putting up sheds with roofs so that they can be in better conditions.
Minister Ramjatan said that these works will be completed in the next 24 hours.
We feel that the Infrastructure Ministry and its officials, along with the contractors that are doing this emergency work, will be completed by 12 midnight.
Once the debris is removed from the Camp Street prison, some prisoners will be transferred back to the Camp Street Brick Prison. The minister explained that repair works to the Brick Prison's roof, the lock-in system, the kitchen area and the administration center will have to take place also.
The structure in the new Brick Prison, which is standing there, can accommodate another 250 persons. So from that 500 plus, we will be shifting across to the new prison, Brick Prison.
For DPI InfoHub, Gabriela Patram.
And now, Sonika Thorne reports that the National Tushaus Council has received land to build a secretariat.
The request for the Secretariat for the NTC was made last year at the National Tushaus Conference by Indigenous leaders to President David Granger. Chairman of the NTC, Joel Frederick, said that the Council is very happy that their voices are being heard.
And he did respond positively, but it took a time, the process, and eventually last month, the 22nd, we finally received a plot of land from Guyana Lands and Survey. So the purpose of it is to establish the National Tushaus Council Secretariat, a place where we can have our headquarters of functioning, a place where the indigenous peoples can come and lay their issues, they can find some help and support there.
The Secretariat will be established at Sophia Exhibition Center next to the Heritage Village. Frederick said that the construction of the Secretariat will soon commence.
We are also looking at putting up a structure very early, because presently we have some resources at hand, what we can start with, and His Excellency also commit to give some support to us in acquiring our Secretariat.
The establishment of the NTC Secretariat should allow for more representation and development of the indigenous peoples. Sonika Thorne for InfoHub.
ExxonMobil opens Center for Local Business. Zanil Williams was at the opening and filed this report.
The center will assist small and medium-sized Guyanese businesses to build their capacity. Minister Trotman urged persons to visit the center and find out how they can be a part of the oil and gas sector.
We have a large body of businessmen and women and corporate entities that ask the question every day, how can we be involved and how can we be a part of what is happening? And this center, of course, the first of its type, and I've urged ExxonMobil and its partners, Hess and Nexon, to take it beyond the confines of this building. Have little workshops in Essequibo and in Berbice and in Linden and in Rupununi and all 10 regions of Guyana.
This center is funded by ExxonMobil and managed by DAI. They will be collaborating with the Institute for Private Enterprise Development, Improtect, Brain Street, and the Food Management Services. Patrick Henry explained the purpose of the center.
The center has a supplier registration portal. We ask that businesses come in, they register in the portal. From there, we'll do assessments of businesses, we'll run training classes to help them in areas like understanding of the offshore oil and gas sector to see what opportunities they have. We'll help them in areas such as safety, health, and the environment, an overview to understand what that means for the oil and gas sector as well as other sectors. And then we'll conduct courses through our partners, IPED and Improtect, like financial management training or supply chain management training, which allows them to access the opportunities that are upcoming.
Meanwhile, Exxon's country manager says Guyana is on the right track to boosting Guyanese businesses.
I believe the center is already off to a very good start, and I have no doubt that it'll be a launching pad for creating a very vibrant support industry, first for oil and gas, and then it'll expand beyond the oil and gas sector, providing even more benefits to Guyana.
Zanil Williams for InfoHub.
And back with the main man in the hot seat, Minister Kemraj Ramjatan said that government will be investing more heavily in youth. Here is Gabriela Patram.
This was disclosed by the minister at the 8th Turkai 19 talks on youth crime and violence at the Pegasus Hotel, Kingston. The minister said that there have been a number of reports which form part of the government's strategy, which centers on youth crime and violence. This includes the Juvenile Justice Bill, which will be presented in the National Assembly.
A bill which will be taken to Parliament by the end of July will then be debated in October. And in that bill, all the difficulties we have, I have made sure that the consultation process went through successfully. Truancy, wandering, all those economic crimes are going to be abolished. All of them. And they are not going to be made crimes anymore because the days for those are long gone.
Minister Ramjatan said that there will be more investment in youth in the future budgets.
This might sound again as cliche, why we are making sure now that the bailouts we are having for sugar will have to come to a halt. And understand that. We need to at least up the millions that we have been giving for the allocation for the youth empowerment and education so that they can get into quick track employment opportunities so we can manage to come out of this structural institutionalized difficulty by only getting monies from one sector onto the next. It is vital.
Other measures to address crime and violence among youth are the strategies under the Citizen Security Strengthening Program, CSSP. 4,000 youths and adolescents from 20 communities are expected to benefit from a number of skills training programs under CSSP. Gabriela Patram, InfoHub.
Zanil Williams joins us again to tell us that a 5-day workshop was launched to address food safety issues and enforcement of food laws.
This workshop is a collaborative effort between PAHO, WHO, and the Ministries of Public Health and Agriculture. Minister Dr. Karen Cummings said though farmers use alternative methods to solve the increased demand for food, it is not without costs.
Mass production, distribution, and importation of food have benefited consumers in several ways. In Guyana, more varieties of fruits and vegetables are available in our local markets and supermarkets than ever before, and many are sold year-round. Nevertheless, these agricultural and supply chain gains are not without significant costs.
The minister noted that storage and handling are two aspects of the supply chain that will need to be addressed.
The Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, number 2 speaks to zero hunger, and goal number 3 speaks to good health and well-being. Governments around the world must ensure that their citizens have access to safe, nutritious food and best quality health care possible. The SDG number 14 speaks to life below water and 15 life on land. The interrelation of these goals address a multidisciplinary, intersectoral approach to ensuring that they are met and sustained. It is therefore imperative that we find cost-effective ways to monitor food contamination and establish effective surveillance of foodborne diseases.
Minister Cummings said the proposal will require a coordinated multidisciplinary approach which will need the support of both private stakeholders as well as the government. She noted that it is the government's responsibility to ensure safe food supply and the enforcement of the existing food laws and regulations. Zanil Williams for InfoHub.
As we wrap up, we tell you that over 1,000 youths in Maikoni are soon to benefit from a new youth group that will empower them to handle challenges they may face. I spoke with facilitator Malcolm Ferreira, who explained the mandate.
Facilitator of the group, Malcolm Ferreira, said that the Maikoni Future Leader Group will be launched tomorrow. He explained that the group, which will be a sister group to the ambitious Future Leader Group in Alboystown, is aimed at equipping youth to handle challenges and protect themselves online.
We're launching another sister group at Maikoni because my team and I, we do a social media outreach to schools. We'll be going to schools and we take a fun package, but my presentation deals with the social media guide. How do we allow young people to access and benefit from the internet, but provide them tools to protect themselves?
The youths are benefiting from programs that deal with self-esteem, waste disposal, and teenage pregnancy.
We want young people to have that voice and for it to be heard and acted upon. So all we're doing is just giving them a space so that the creative juices could flow and we can get the best out of our young people. We push them in the corner far too often. We haven't provided the assistance and the necessary support that's needed for a young person to really realize their potential.
This initiative is non-governmental and the groups are funded through volunteering in local businesses and individual. Dalon Sanko for InfoHub.
Thanks for watching. Connect with us 24/7 on our website and social media. Goodbye.